What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. We are approaching season 22, and I am super excited. So we are finishing up this season with some banger builds, specifically right here a Void Walker Warlock with Nezarec's Sin as our helmet, allowing for some crazy ability regen for our grenade melee as well as our class ability. So let's get right into this build, showing off its ins and outs for that PvE realm and our Void Warlock. Starting us off with our abilities, aspects, and fragments, I am using the Nova Bomb Cataclysm, my personal favorite for the PvE realm. Now for me, I'm using Healing Rift, Balance Glide, and our Pocket Singularity with a Vortex Grenade. Could use a Void Wall if you want, but Vortex is my go-to. If you've watched any of my videos, basically my only Void PvE grenade that I use. Now, I had a little bit of trouble deciding which two aspects I wanted to use, but I ended up landing on Chaos Accelerant with Child of the Old Gods. Now, Chaos Accelerant, we're using this so we can overcharge our grenades, so it'll make them more deadly and effective. Our Vortex has an increased size and linger duration of the Vortex, so this thing is absolutely juiced. And since we're going to be able to have ability regen spam because of our helmet, it is super nice to have overcharged grenades, just throwing them around all willy-nilly like. Now on top of that, I went with Child of the Old Gods so we can cast our Rift, creating that Void Soul. When we damage a target with a weapon, the Void Soul attaches to them and drains them and weakens them. Now this is when the target is being drained, we're gonna get grenade and melee energy back since we're running that Healing Rift. Defeating the target who is being drained grants class ability energy, so it just seems perfect to use this so we can get grenade, melee, and class ability energy regen just from this Void Soul. And with the helmet, it is a match made in heaven, and then like I said, we get those overcharged grenades on top of that. Now, when we're using the Fragments, Echo of Remnants, that Vortex is going to last even longer, stacks with Chaos Accelerant up there. Echo of Starvation, picking up Void Breaches and Orbs of Power, grant Devour, so this is going to be super easy for us since we're going to be creating Orbs of Power everywhere, especially with those grenades and Void Breaches everywhere as well. Now, weakening a target right here creates an Orb of Power or a Void Breach, so this will help us to proc this. And the weakening that we're getting from Child of the Old Gods and our ability spam is everywhere, allowing us to proc Echo of Harvest very often. And last but certainly not least, all those grenade defeats that we're getting from our overcharged grenades with Chaos Accelerant are going to create volatile rounds for our Void weapons, which we will cover in just a second here. Now when we move on to our weapons right here, I personally went with Submission for Subsistence Demo on this. So Demo is going to give us our grenade back even faster. Pairing that with Nezarec's Sin and our other aspects, fragments that we have on, ability spam with our grenade is absolutely insane. Pulling this out of the vault as well, we got the Dead Messenger grenade launcher, that triple waveframe grenade launcher that can switch between our burns, but for me, using it in our Void so we can create Orbs of Power as well as those volatile rounds that we're getting from our grenade defeats. And last but not least here, we got Commemoration with Reconstruction Under Pressure. I'm still looking for a better roll. I've just been super lazy with Deepstone Crypt, but promise better crafted roll coming very soon with this bad boy right here. On to the artifact mod, Nezarec's Sin, also a trusty dusty that we've pulled out of the vault for this season, with it being a Void season, but in general, Nezarec's is a very trusty for ability spam anyway, that just gets a nice bonus juice from an artifact like this. Specifically, we're going to be using Authorized Void mod as well as Unto the Breach, Protective Breach, Supernova. So Unto the Breach, defeating Void debuffed targets targets creates a void breach while we have that void subclass equipped, so that child of the old gods and that void soul helping to create void breaches everywhere. Protective breach, picking up those void breaches gives us an overshield, and from our aspects fragments we're going to be creating these everywhere, and when we pick them up also granting us devour. Last right here in Supernova, picking up those void breaches causes our next source of void damage, whether that be a weapon, melee, or grenade, to create a weakening pulse, which again right here brings us back to Unto the Breach, as well as some of those fragments that we had on as well. So this is why it's absolutely crazy for that positive feedback loop from this season, making it an S++ build in something with a lot of void artifact mods. On to the armor and the mods that make this build so juicy. Abysmal Extractors right here from Nezarec. Sin, void damage kills increase ability energy recharge rate. Now, void damage kills. This doesn't just mean when we get defeats with our abilities inside of that void soul, our pocket singularity, or our grenade. This also counts towards our waveframe grenade launcher as well as our commemoration. So that void ability spam is absolutely disgusting and so easy to get to proc. Now for our mods, we're going to be using Void Siphon and Kinetic Siphon to create even more orbs of power for us. So all of our weapons are going to be able to create orbs of power with heavy ammo finder, so that commemoration never runs out of ammo. When we move on to our arms, firepower, since we're going to be able to overcharge those grenades, all of those defeats even more orbs of power for us, so we can spam our super as well as have those overcharged grenades everywhere, giving us devour, as well as momentum transfer with bolstering detonation, grants us class ability when doing damage with our grenade, and then we're also getting our melee back when causing damage with our grenade, so a positive feedback loop again from this build. Onto our chest piece, arc damage resistance with concussive. Seems like this season specifically, this is our biggest two that we are going up against, but you can change this out for sniper or concussive or melee damage, and then this is any of our burns, so arc, void, stasis, solar, anything like that, with harmonic reserves right here. So our void weapons, our grenade launcher, as well as our LMG are going to be able to hold more ammunition. To make those even better, we're going to be using a double void weapon surge, giving us about a 17% increase on damage for both that grenade launcher and LMG, as well as absolution when we pick up those orbs of power from everything with void siphon, kinetic siphon, as well as firepower. It's going to grant us all of our abilities to cool down, so our grenade, our melee, as well as our rift. And last but certainly not least, on our class item, we got time dilation to allow void weapon surge to last a little bit longer with that double bomber. So when we throw down our rift, we're not only getting the void soul to proc, but we're getting our grenade cooldown, and with the helmet, all the void defeats that we're getting, as well as demo on our kinetic, we're able to spam our abilities, specifically our grenade as well as our rift, to get that void soul to create weakening, those void breaches, as well as that overcharged grenade from Chaos Accelerant, so we can throw some vortex grenades that just eat everything in its path, creating orbs of power for us, creating volatile rounds for our weapons. So this build is so much fun to use. Again, breaking out the Nezarec Sin from the vault, haven't touched it in a little while, been on with the strand in the past couple seasons, and with the artifact mods looking like they do this season, thought I would break it out, blow that dust off, and see how good it is. Still one of the best exotics for that ability regen in the void subclass. So thank you guys so much again. I truly appreciate all y'all. Hopefully you guys are having a good last little bit of the season here, so close to next season with some fun changes coming, new reprised raids. So make sure to join the Discord, join the channel here, sub, hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of the live streams, any of the builds. God rolls, gonna be trying to do some raid help next season, so be on the lookout for that. Again, truly appreciate all y'all. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.